Hey guys, Harry Thomas here, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a slightly different ranking video today. First things first, happy birthday, Frozen fan 2004. Yes, today is his special day, and for his birthday, he kindly requested me to rank his favourite movies from my favourite to my least favourite, and so pal, wishing you the happiest of birthdays, and this video is for you. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, his favourite movies of all time consist of classic movies and sequels, and of course. His favourite movie of all time will be on this ranking. So, without further ado, if you want to know my ranking of his top 10 favourite movies, then just keep watching. At number 10, oh boy, a Frozen fan, you're never going to forgive me for this, but Spirited Away, yes, sorry, I am not going to sugarcoat my thoughts. Spirited Away is my least favourite of his top 10 favourite movies by by a landslide. I'm not calling it a cinematic disaster, but for now I will keep my overall thoughts on this movie under wraps because it is beautifully animated, and if you love anime, then this movie is right up your alley. But I just had no nostalgia for this movie back in 2002. I always liked animated movies from that year, like Lilo and Stitch, Spirit Stallion at the Cimarron, and Ice Age better. Yeah, I never grew up with Spirited Away, so I just don't have the nostalgia for it. I would say it's the most overhyped movie from 2002, but hey, I'll give it a revisit, and I hope I do appreciate it more. At number 9, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Again, please forgive me for ranking this one so low, but there are just 8 other movies I would rank slightly above this one. But Into the Spider-Verse, this is one of the most incredible Spider-Man movies ever made. I mean, this was the near perfect conversion to animation for Marvel's most iconic character, and it restored Spider-Man to his former glory at the time after the disgraces that were both amazing Spider-Man movies and the decent but not quite amazing Homecoming. But this is a far more like it, and I can see why people call this their favourite animated movie of 2018. For me, Incredibles 2 is marginally better, but Into the Spider Verse, sure, it is in my top 3 animated movies of that year. And the comic book look to the animation and some of the stellar cinematography shots of the Spider-Man leaping in New York throughout this movie. Some of the shots will just sweep you off your feet. I mean, this is a Sony's apology for the Emoji Movie. My only criticism would be Kingpin is a lackluster villain, but that's it. At number 8, Avengers Infinity War. I have grown to love this movie a lot more than I used to. Yeah, it's no secret in my initial review. I was underwhelmed by Infinity War, which angered all MCU fans. But luckily, I have changed my mind after seeing Endgame. Now that I see the big picture and I now see why it was necessary to have Infinity War and Endgame be a two-part story, and Infinity War is the action-packed tension building setup. It's the Deathly Hallows Part 1 of the MCU, and Thanos just being the greatest MCU villain period. Not only that, but one of the top tier movie villains of all time, and my god, there are scenes in this movie I was just not ready for. I mean, that just had me is speechless and utterly shocked walking out of the cinema. I mean, especially that ending when literally Thanos won and 50% of our beloved Avengers are disintegrated, including Spider-Man, which was the most devastating death scene of them all. Yeah, I still hate how what they did to Gamora. That's still my biggest complaint that prevents me from calling this a perfect movie. But yeah, Infinity War is still a monumental blockbuster, and I can see why some may prefer this to Endgame because it is the more action heavy movie of the two. At number seven, Avengers Endgame. Endgame for me has the edge over Infinity War for its more emotional impact. This uh, movie just wrapped up all of the Avengers storylines in the most masterful and powerful way. I mean, I especially I didn't expect Tony to sacrifice himself for the entire universe at the end, and that final battle is the total bomb. It is the defining moment of the entire MCU and Captain Marvel. I mean, she just was slaying this entire movie. She was the first to grab Thanos in the opening and locate him, and she was the one brave enough to take him on for the gauntlet at the end, and that's a girl power scene as she's got help and all the female characters band together to assist her. I mean, that moment just made me totally jump for joy. It's was sensational, and though people still hate on me for not calling this movie 100% perfect, I do think the first act is my least favourite part. It needed more action, but that aside, Endgame is a excellent conclusion to the Avengers saga and a worthy highest-grossing movie of all time. Even though I will always like Avatar and Titanic a bit better. At number six, The Dark Knight. Sorry, it's not higher. Sorry, you don't get me wrong. You don't need me to tell you what a cinematic masterpiece The Dark Knight is, and I can totally see why this is the a consistent fan favourite of the Dark Knight trilogy among Nolan fans. I mean, this movie changed the very landscape of comic book movies, and Christopher Nolan gave us a superhero movie with more shock factor in it than ever before, and of course Heath Ledger gave the most remarkable performance as the Joker. I mean, he and of course Heath Ledger gave the most remarkable performance as the Joker. His Joker is not only one of the most entertaining, but one of the darkest and most complex. I mean, he 100% said well and truly deserved his Academy Award as. But let's not overlook the other cast here: Christian Bale, Maggie Gyllenhaal. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal. I personally preferred Katie Holmes as Rachel, but Maggie Gyllenhaal, she's still totally magnificent as Rachel, and uh, and uh, and Michael Caine and Gary Oldman and Aaron Eckhart. The entire cast are Oscar worthy, and rarely have I seen a superhero movie that raises the stakes and the tension this much to the point where you're thinking there's no hope left for our hero in the next movie, and but luckily and luckily, The Dark Knight Rises was the perfect payoff to what this movie set up. So I'm surprised that Tenant isn't on Frozen fans' favourite Christopher Nolan movies list, but the three he did pick, I love. And Nolan makes this list again at number 5, Interstellar. Yes, Interstellar is one special and influential sci-fi epic. It's not so an alien invasion or war movie. No. Christopher Nolan tells a beautiful father and daughter story between Matthew McConaughey's character and Murph and my and I mean every single frame of this movie either just just makes me tear up in how sweet it is, or just has me going, oh my god, this is amazing uh, by how astonishing the movie looks visually, and bearing in mind Christopher Nolan made this movie look as great as it does with so little CGI, and Hans Zimmer's score is one of his most captivating to date. So yeah, Interstellar may be Nolan's most underrated. Number 4, Inception. Christopher Nolan is the uh, king of original blockbusters. I've heard Tenant is a espionage thriller combined with time travel, and Inception is a blockbuster that's focused on dreams, and it's uh, and it's and it's about Leonardo DiCaprio and Mariana Collette's as a relationship, as well as Leonardo DiCaprio while trying to reunite with his kids, and my god, some of the some of the practical effects are some of Nolan's jaw-dropping, especially the twirling uh, room sequence. Yeah, I mean, 11 years later, I mean, this is still my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, and 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 when I do see Tenant, I will see if Tenant can dethrone it. At number 3, Zootopia. Yes, I rank Zootopia in the top 3 because that's how much I adore it. I mean, with the Disney revival age, most of them were terrific for sure, but I wasn't. They didn't quite feel the same as they weren't quite to uh, uh, peak perfection as they were in the 90s Renaissance. Well, that all changed when Zootopia came along. Zootopia, I mean, is a special movie that can bring everybody together and make us realise we are all equals, and to see Judy and Nick, both totally different species, but my god, is their friendship powerful and incredibly sweet, and how they united the predators and prey in Zootopia together in peace is so heartwarming, and it's still uh, it's one of the most imaginative Disney movies. A city inhabited by anthropomorphic animals, and yet they never humanize the animals too much. They keep to their they keep it animal centric, and Shakira's Try Everything just totally rocks every time I hear it. this, yeah, no other Disney movie in 2016 floored me as much as this classic did. At number two, The Empire Strikes Back. What all of the fans are still hold sacred, and they still call this the unbeatable Star Wars movie. Yes, and Empire Strikes Back is uh, is a example of a sequel which just outshines its predecessor in every way, shape, and form. And I mean, this is the Star Wars movie where Darth Vader, cinema's most beloved villain himself, is allowed to be more badass than he has ever been. And of course, the I am your father is still uh, cinema's most iconic plot twist, and I think that plot twist inspired future plot twists later in film. That's how much of a significant impact this movie had, and uh, and people didn't want that twist to spoil back in the 80s, even without social media. And the Battle of Hoth is one of the most enthralling opening first acts to any Star Wars movie, and it brought in Yoda. It got to Leia and Han together. It gave us Lando Calrissian. It gave us Boba Fett. It gave us all these fan favourites of the saga. I mean, you ask yourself, how could Empire Strikes Back not be the coolest movie ever? Well, there is just one movie on this list that I controversially think is even cooler, and my number one favourite on Frozen Fan 2004's top 10 list, and Frozen fan himself will certainly agree. Frozen 2. The Disney's greatest achievement since The Lion King, without a shadow of a doubt, and an awesome movie to hold the title of highest grossing animated film in history, surpassing even its predecessor in terms of box office takings. I still think people overlook all of the improvements that this sequel made over the first Frozen. I mean, just the astonishing revelations about Elsa and Anna's parents and their past, and I mean, Into the Unknown and Show Yourself are Elsa's most biggest shining and defining moments, and Anna being twice as badass as she was in the first Frozen, and Lost in the Woods could not have been a better song to give to Kristoff, and my God, Frozen 2 still has Disney's most photorealistic CGI animation I've ever seen. Even better looking than Soul. Please don't hurt me. I hope Disney doesn't put off Frozen 3 for much longer. I am proud to call Frozen 2 my favourite of this top 10 list. So that was my ranking of Frozen fans' top 10 favourite movies. Thank you so much for your consistently awesome requests, Buzzy. It was a pleasure to do the Why Frozen 2 is Underrated video and this video. Well, and I hope you have a awesome birthday. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this ranking. And what are your ranking of these movies? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I review the Croods. Because the Croods to a New Age will come out in the UK at some point this year. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.